On to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
Do you know when the next train is? I need to be at the Museum of Fine Arts by 10:30.
Actually, there's a shuttle bus at 10 that takes you directly there, and it's only a 25-minute ride.
What does the woman imply? Number 2.
It was such a great weekend. I saw 2 really good movies and a play. What did you do?
What you were supposed to be doing, studying. Did you forget we have an exam today?
What does the woman mean? Number 3.
So what are they supposed to be building over there? Another gym?
Isn't that where the new library's going?
What are the speakers talking about? Number 4.
Do you mind if I use your computer to write a history paper? Mine's out for repairs.
Sorry, but I'm in the middle of typing something, and it's going to be a while. You know, the computer lab is still open.
What does the man imply the woman should do? Number 5.
Hi, Gina. That's a really cool watch. Where did you get it?
Well, my sister works at a jewelry store right off campus.
What does the woman imply? Number 6.
Do you think classes are going to be canceled because of this snowstorm?
I sure hope so. It says on the radio that roads are treacherous. Why don't you check with the administration office?
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 7.
So where's Gloria these days? It's like she's disappeared.
You obviously haven't been to the library in a while.
What can be inferred about Gloria? Number 8.
I don't know what you did to this computer, but it keeps giving me these error messages.
Oh, sorry. I was playing around with it before you came in. Let me take a look at it.
What will the man do? Number 9.
Chicken or fish? I know they're both good here, but I just can't make up my mind.
Come on, we haven't got all night.
What does the woman mean? Number 10.
Oh no, I just remembered. I was supposed to give Tom his CD back when I see him in class today, but I left it sitting on the kitchen table.
I don't think it's any big deal. I'm sure he can do without it until our next class.
What does the man imply about the woman? Number 11.
I'm starting to lose my voice, which usually means I'm about to catch a cold. Do you think I should go to the clinic and have my throat looked at?
As soon as possible, especially since we have oral exams next week in German class.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 12.
Are you sure you want to rent that apartment? It's the first one you saw.
You're right. I shouldn't be so hasty. It wouldn't hurt to check out a few more.
What will the woman probably do? Number 13.
Wow, you're really tall. Are you on the basketball team?
I may be tall, but that doesn't mean I've ever been any good as a player.
What does the man imply? Number 14.
Which of these shirts do you think I should buy, the red or the green one?
Well, didn't you already buy a red one last week? A little variety would be good.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 15.
I was surprised to hear that you accepted the job offer from the bank. Are you sure you'll like working there?
I just thought I'd give it a try. If I don't like it, I can quit any time.
What can be inferred from the conversation? Number 16.
I'm having a party tonight. Can you make it?
I'd love to, but my aunt's here only one day, and I promised to take her to a play.
What will the woman probably do? Number 17.
How are you going to pay for classes next year? Did you apply for financial aid?
Well, I'm working at the bookstore and doing some tutoring. That should be enough, don't you think?
What can be inferred about the woman? Number 18.
Excuse me, I didn't order this cake.
It comes with your dinner, ma'am.
What does the man say about the cake? Number 19.
You know something? I can't wait to go home for spring break. My hometown is so small that everybody knows you.
Yeah, but everybody knows your business, too, and talks about it all the time.
What does the man mean? Number 20.
You did a great job coordinating the student volunteers for the campus open house, Phil. I hope we can count on you again.
I'm glad things worked out, but this is it for me. It's too time-consuming.
What does the man mean? Go on to the next page. Number 21.
What time should Peter have been here to meet us?
As soon as his psychology class was finished. I hope he didn't forget.
What can be inferred about Peter? Number 22.
I missed the meeting about on-campus job openings this afternoon. Were you there?
I don't have time for a job this semester, but my roommate went, and I can get you copies of the forms you need from her.
What does the woman mean? Number 23.
One thing I definitely recommend, make sure you get enough sleep the night before your presentation. Trust me, it'll make a difference.
I don't know, Professor. That won't be easy. Probably I'll lie awake all night rehearsing my talk.
What does the man mean? Number 24.
Do you think we'll have a say in what musical our theater group will be presenting next year?
I doubt it. I heard the director say she'd already picked one out.
What does the man mean? Number 25.
Hi, Jim. I hear you're looking for an apartment closer to work.
Yes, I'm sick and tired of spending so much time in my car.
What does the man imply? Number 26.
I've got great news. Ben's going to be senior class president next year.
They've had the elections already?
What had the man assumed? Number 27.
Someone said we really should go to that guest lecture tomorrow.
Well, it wasn't me. I couldn't care less about astronomy.
What does the man mean? Number 28.
Trust me, you don't want to go to that movie. It's not nearly as good as the reviews said.
I don't care. I need a break from studying, and it's the only thing showing that I haven't already seen.
What does the woman mean? Number 29.
If this dry weather keeps up, we're going to be restricted again in how we use water this summer.
Unless we really start doing something about it now.
What does the man mean? Number 30.
Hi, Mike. I heard that you were revising the instructor's manual for the computer class. Is there any way I could get a copy of the new version?
Well, I'm still working on it. So for right now, everyone should just use the one they have.
What does the man imply? This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. The test continues on Side 2. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 33. Listen to a conversation between two friends.
Hi, Ed. Looks like we're here early.
Yeah, class doesn't start for 10 more minutes. So I pulled out the novel I'm reading.
What is it?
It's called Sister Carrie. It's about a woman named Carrie who leaves her country home to earn a living in Chicago and New York.
Oh, I've studied Theodore Dreiser. His work is a little depressing, but I like him. Even though his characters always get in trouble, he treats them with sympathy. How do you like Sister Carrie?
It's not what I expected. On the back cover it says that the book created a lot of controversy when it was first published in 1900. It even says the publisher withdrew it from the market after only 500 copies were sold. But I don't see why.
Well, the novel might not be shocking by our standards, but it sure created a stir then. Think about what Carrie does. She leaves her country home and gets caught up in some personal scandals in the city. Now, most other authors of that time would have punished the character to provide a moral lesson, but Dreiser has Carrie become a successful actress at the end.
Well, that puts the story in a different perspective. I bet Dreiser must have been discouraged when the publisher took it off the market.
He sure was. He stopped writing fiction for a while and did work as a journalist and an editor.
Well, how did the book become recognized?
Some British reviewers praised the novel, and then another publisher released it in 1907. Eventually, people recognized the novel for its realism, and Dreiser went on to write some other successful works.
Number 31. What is the conversation mainly about? Number 32. According to the woman, how is Sister Carrie different from other novels of its time? Number 33. How did Sister Carrie eventually gain recognition? Questions 34 through 38. Listen to part of a discussion in a linguistics class.
Before we begin today's topic, I'd like to review the phases of child language acquisition that we went over yesterday. Who'd like to summarize for us? Yes, Lisa.
Well, first of all, you said that newborns only make rudimentary vocalizations because the voice box isn't in position for speech yet, but that at about 3 months of age, babies start to utter the first sounds that resemble language sounds, the sounds of consonants like k and g.
That's right. And after this stage come the meaningless syllables, a consonant followed by a vowel. For example, the da-da sounds. At the next stage comes a real breakthrough. Can you tell us about that, Lisa?
Well, between 6 months and 1 year of age, babies begin to associate sounds with meaning. So when you say dog, they know you're referring to the four-legged animal that's their house pet. At this stage, they start to build a vocabulary, and in a matter of months, they're learning 10 to 20 new words a day. This vocabulary growth continues until adolescence.
Right. And isn't it amazing that by the time children are 2 or 3 years old, they're stringing sentences together? Certainly no one will dispute that children have a tremendous capacity for learning language. What linguists are still trying to determine is how this language acquisition takes place.
Number 34. What is the class mainly discussing? Number 35. Why does the student mention the sounds k and g? Number 36. According to the student, why are newborns not able to make language-like sounds? Number 37. According to the discussion, when does vocabulary growth first start to increase dramatically? Number 38. According to the discussion, what do linguists still not know? This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part C are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several short talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be on from 9 to 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. And the subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read A. To demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B. To discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C. To explain the workings of the brain. D. To dramatize a famous mystery story. The best answer to the question, "What is the main purpose of the program?" is C. To explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read A. It is required of all science majors. B. It will never be shown again. C. It can help viewers improve their memory skills. D. It will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, "Why does the speaker recommend watching the program?" is D. It will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 41. Listen to a talk from a Canadian history class.
How did the native communities of southeastern Canada convey information to one another? In general, they used couriers who memorized oral messages. Among some peoples, the Iroquois and the Algonquins, for example, messengers also used a code based on strings of beads. The beads were called wampum, and the color of the beads signified the message. For instance, white beads were used for news of peace, prosperity, or goodwill. Purple beads meant war, disaster, or death. The couriers also carried messages for early European explorers and missionaries. One Jesuit missionary described in his journals how a courier memorized 20 different detailed transactions, delivered them to Montreal, and then returned with exact replies to each. He had traveled 800 miles round trip. Sometimes the messages were written, not oral, and would be passed from one courier to another. When one messenger arrived at the edge of his tribe's territory, he would sell the letter to the next messenger, usually at a profit. If the letter passed through many hands before reaching the recipient, the final bill could be very expensive.
Number 39. What is the main topic of the talk? Number 40. What would cause a letter to be expensive to receive? Number 41. What event would most likely have been symbolized by a purple wampum bead? Questions 42 through 46. Listen to a talk at the Campus Birdwatchers Club.
We've talked before about using special plantings, water, and feeders to attract birds to your garden. This afternoon, I'd like to tell you about a less well-known way to attract birds. It's by putting out eggshells. Many birds eagerly consume them. Perhaps it's a method of replacing calcium lost by females in egg-laying, though I have seen males eat the shells too. Anyway, I've had at least 8 different species of birds come to eat the eggshells. Here's how it's done. You should save your eggshells and rinse them in water. Then cook them lightly on a baking pan in the oven, set at a low temperature, until they are dry but not brown. This sterilizes them and makes them brittle. You can crumble them into bite-sized pieces and spread them on the ground, a rock, or a bird feeder. You may find they're so popular, you'll want to go to your favorite restaurant to ask for more eggshells.
Number 42. What is the talk mainly about? Number 43. Why are the birds attracted to eggshells? Number 44. How are the eggshells prepared? Number 45. How does the preparation process affect the eggshells? Number 46. What can be inferred about the woman? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to part of a talk in a geology class.
Last week, when we talked about landslides, we looked at what causes these huge masses of earth to move down a natural incline, such as a mountainside or slope, with such destructive force. Now, when these landslides occur in populated areas, what can humans do to avoid or minimize damage? Basically, there are three things that can be done. The first thing is to simply avoid construction in areas where landslides are likely to happen. Typically, when a site on a slope is chosen for new construction, it is important that a geological survey of the area be conducted. The survey reveals unsafe conditions, such as too little vegetation or soil that will absorb water too easily, conditions that might lead to a landslide, say during periods of heavy rains. The second thing is to build in a way that doesn't make stable slopes unstable. For example, natural vegetation, like grass, is needed to keep soil firmly in place. This vegetation should not be entirely removed, since without the grass, the soil would loosen up, and this could result in a landslide. The third thing is to design good water drainage, to ensure that the water naturally runs down the slope and doesn't build up in the soil. This kind of water buildup on a slope is one of the most frequent causes of landslides. Water buildup can easily result during long periods of heavy rain, and sometimes the cause is part of the construction itself, such as a stone wall that blocks the water from draining off the slope.
Number 47. What does the professor mainly discuss? Number 48. According to the professor, why is it important to perform geological surveys? Number 49. What does the professor say about vegetation on a slope? Number 50. According to the professor, what might cause a buildup of water on a slope? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1. This is a reminder. At the end of the test, the supervisor will collect all of the test books. You may not leave until all of the test books have been collected. End of recording.